Hello, everybody. I'm here. We've started. Am I? Yes. Okay, everybody can hear me. Perfect. Oh my gosh, I might have to go find my chapstick. I only just realized how fucked up my lips look. Anyway. Hi. How are you? Oh my god, Gorge. Oh my god. What's up, Shuffle? You're alone holding it down over there in the YouTube chat? Oh, there's Venusian. Okay, what's up? Hey, Gayfesh, hello. There's Shade. There's Mama Mephistopheles. Hello. Hello, Katie. What's up, Mersh? Hey, how are you, Gorge? Hey, how are you? So, I am actually having... What's up, Baphomet? I am, well, first of all, the immediate thing that happened when I sat down in front of this photography light was that it's too warm in here now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, plan to disrobe a little bit. You might find that the pacing of this show is a little bit slower than usual because I am having a weird issue with painful breathing. It's okay right now, partially because I took some ibuprofen earlier. I think what I have is, like, inflammation in my chest that sometimes, like, very, very occasionally I will, like, breathe wrong. Or, like, I'll swallow something weird, and then there's, like, a pulling sensation on the left side of my chest. So, yeah, it's okay. We have to pay for sweater removal. Luxander must get money tonight. Like bronchitis, have you been to the doctor? No, I haven't been to the doctor. It happens every once in a while, and it doesn't last very long. So I'm kind of attributing it... I did get in touch with my doctor this morning about it, but I'm attributing it for now to, like, connective tissue stuff. Like, yeah, the muscles between my ribs will get inflamed sometimes, says Kitty. That's kind of, it's like, yeah, I've had intercostal complications before from, like, I did a lot of planks and side planks one time getting into trying to get exercise done, and I just did way too much of it, and then I had intercostal injury for a few weeks, and then, yeah, so it's, I think it's something like that, because it's like when I swallow water weird, it twinges. When I take a very deep breath, it twinges. And when I yawn, unless I, like, do a really low, like, not breathing in very hard yawn, which I've had to do several times today. So I'm seeing Ghost in a few days. Nice. You know, be safe and all that. I hear a lot of good things about Ghost, so hopefully that's fun. Just came out to my mom and friends as bi gender. It went really well. That's super awesome to hear. Shuffle, I'm so glad to hear that. I just had to yawn. Shit's contagious. Sorry. You ever get that muscle stitch where it feels like a rib is jabbing the lungs on every in-breath? I mean, it is like a sharp pain, you know? But, I can breathe in shallow breaths and it doesn't hurt so bad. Hello, Leftist Owl. I was just telling chat how I'm having a weird health week. Like, this week I was, TMI moment, menstruating. And that, you know, makes a lot of my other health issues worse. Like, plenty of people who have joint pain notice that their joint pain is worse during that time. And also people with the heart condition problem that I have also find that their symptoms are worse. So I just haven't been feeling my best. But, I mean, I spent most of this weekend with my partner. So that is very good. I had a good weekend in that regard. I went over Friday. We hung out and we watched The Two Towers, the extended edition. Oh my god, because we had both recently on our own watched Fellowship of the Ring, the extended version. And we decided, like, yeah, it would be fun. Let's spend 4 fucking hours watching The Two Towers. So we did. And it was fun. And I was working on a crochet project, which I finished. Look at it. Oh my god. Hey, isn't it so cute? I think it's very adorable. I think it's super cute. Hit like if you think that this adorable little crochet pumpkin is adorable, you know? I made it. So I finished that over the course of the weekend. I stayed the night on Friday, and then we watched Return of the King yesterday. The Return of the King. I also made an apple. You see the apple that I made? It's cute too. Yeah. I feel like the proportions are almost more like a tomato, but it is indeed an apple. So this is just like a thing that I do. Oh my god. Did you know that when Aragorn kicks the helmet, actually he broke his toe? Yes, I do know about that. And whenever we watch the scene, have you read or listened to the books? I read them a long time ago. But yeah, when he wades into the water because Frodo is trying to leave on the boat, and like Sean Astin cut his foot. My partner and I are like, oh look, Sean Astin cut his foot. What a coincidence! I watched the LOTR Extendeds last weekend. They are collectively my favorite movie. Yeah, they're really good, honestly. You know, my younger siblings have never seen them. My siblings are like, 17 and 15, and they've never seen Lord of the Rings, and so we need to get a hold of the we need to get a hold of the non-extended editions, because right now that's all we have access to. Like, it's on the Plex server that I have access to, the extended editions. So I'm gonna have to go find the theatrical cuts, because I don't want, if you're introducing someone to Lord of the Rings for the very first time, you don't want to force them to watch the extended editions, right? They're not paced very well. If we're being honest, they're not paced very well. The ADR, oh my god. Part of the reason why I want to watch maybe Leftist Owl, you might empathize with this since you're an audiophile. I don't know what car you're talking about, but do you notice when ADR is off in movies? Because it's something that really sticks out to me. If they can't make it through the extendeds, just not the first time. The first time you watch the theatrical, and it it's made to keep your attention and everything, and then later you introduce them to the long ones. But yeah, that's something that I noticed, and so I want to watch the theatrical versions again so that I can figure out this really rough ADR stuff. Like, is it just because of the extended scenes, or does the original theatrical cut also have so many moments of noticeably off ADR? Well, if you don't know what that means, it's like sometimes they record audio in the studio and then superimpose that instead of using audio that was caught. Like, every time they're filming, there's like a boom mic, there's a boom mic and it's just out of frame up here, right? And that's where they catch most of the sound. But if they're like filming on a beach or on like a really windy day and they cannot get a good sound quality, then they might, or if someone messed up their line, or if they want to change something, they will record in studio and then just like mess with the audio to try to make it fit in the scene. But there are plenty of times in the Two Towers and the Return of the King extended cuts where I was like, damn, this was very clearly redone in the studio. Like, the audio for that dialogue line was clearly redone in the studio, and it was not edited together very well, or they did not choose a good take to match. Okay, theatrical fans, where is Saruman? Yeah, they don't show what happened to him at all. Like, there's just no Saruman. So not only do they not have, at the end of the books, where they return to the Shire, but the Shire also has fucky wookie shit happening there because Saruman went there and then started messing with people. They don't have that in either version, but additionally, they don't even show him, like, dying in the theatrical. One of my favorite noticeable ADR moments is in Galaxy Quest when Sigourney Weaver sees the hallway full of smashing pistons, and while the audio says, "Oh, screw that," you can very clearly see her say, "Oh, fuck that." Oh, that's funny. I haven't watched Galaxy Quest in such a long time. That would be worth going back to. I actually think that I've only seen it the once. My partner introduced it to me and was like, "This is great. Let's watch this." And I was like, you know what? You're right. It is great. And then I never watched it again. Maybe I should fix that. Maybe I should. Back in my day, we had to switch out discs in the middle of the movie, and we liked it. Honestly, I do. There's something, like, tactile about switching out VHSs or switching out DVDs. There's a car in one of the landscape shots in Lord of the Rings. Oh, bummer. Aw. They did so well, though. Riddle me this, theatrical fans. Was Boromir a good guy or just bad? Oh, are there missing Boromir scenes that really remove context for his character development? That's a bummer. But anyway. Yes, I know Tubian. I know that. Yes, that's a fun fact about Viggo Mortensen. Did you know that So Sean Bean used to hike up to their filming locations, allegedly, because he did not like flying in a helicopter. he personally was just like, I don't like that. And Viggo Mortensen used to walk up the mountain to their filming locations because he wanted to appear travel-worn for the role. Switching out discs also gives an intermission, so it was quite a nice thing. Yeah, we were watching we were watching the third one, Return of the King, yesterday, and we got to the end of the Battle of Minas Tirith, and my partner paused the movie and was like, okay, there's still like an hour and 20 minutes of this movie left. There's still a whole battle left in this movie. Do you want to go get food? Since you were talking about, I had been talking about being hungry. He was like, do you want to go get whatever food you were planning on getting? And I was like, yeah, this is actually a good time to pause. Literally, yeah, like at the extended third movie, at the end of the battle for Minas Tirith, in Gondor, and like Osgiliath and all that, they have an entire hour and 20 left where they go fucking to the Black Gate. You know what I mean? I worked for a furniture store in the 1990s when they just started selling laser discs. Oh, wow. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring. Right, now where are we going? Insert disc 2 to continue. LOTR deep dive with Lux. Listen, this is what I was doing this weekend, alright? I basically don't have a hardcore plan for today's stream. I'm having weird health issues, so I'm trying to just, like, relax. I don't really want to think about any bullshit. Like, I had a really good weekend. I completely unplugged from the internet. I was with my partner in meat space, you know, watching a movie, enjoying each other's company, and now I'm back to my regular life, and I just am having a rough time, so I'm chilling. And then later today I'm gonna pick up one of my siblings, and I'm gonna have her for probably like a week. And so it's gonna very quickly be a very busy couple of months for me. Hey, theatrical fans, what happened to Frodo's mithril shirt? Wait, what? What about Frodo's mithril shirt? Did they not have that in there? I did notice an inconsistency, y'all, though. You know, when, Frodo and Sam are getting really, really, really close to Mordor in the third movie, and, Gollum decides that he's gonna kill them by taking them through the spider's lair, Shelob. So Shelob, like, stabs Frodo with her spinneret thingy. She has, like, a poison thing on her ass, and she stabs him with it. And in a following scene, like, very shortly after that, Frodo is in a guard tower of the goblins, and they've taken off all of his clothes, and the two goblins are fighting over the mithril shirt, which he was wearing previously. Like, come on. Anyway, if you're looking forward to having more chill conversation today, hit the like button. I really would love to see how many people we can get in here on, like, a we're just chilling and enjoying each other's company kind of stream. Theatrical cut the scene with the mouth of Sauron, and he gives it to Aragorn to make them sad. Oh, yeah! You're right. So yeah, my partner did point that out, that the scene with the mouth of Sauron isn't even in the theatrical cut, which sucks. Jay, how do you pronounce that? Is it Lunasa? Lunasa? I don't know. Lamas is the Christianized name for it. Do I have any plans for it? What is today? Is Lamas, like, tomorrow? No, it's Tuesday. I was gonna bake bread. It's Lunasa? Okay, yeah. I was gonna bake bread. And otherwise I've been just like, I mean, this is part of what I've been doing is, like, I'm doing crochet stuff to, cause I got a cornucopia recently, and I wanted stuff to put inside the cornucopia. Horn of Plenty. Yay, the mouth of Sauron creeps me out. Yeah, I mean, I think he's supposed to. He's got, like, all kinds of weird fluids coming out of his mouth, and he's got really big teeth, and he's got no eyes. So I think that he's pretty creeperoony. Well, thank you, Mersh. To be clear, I just followed a pattern for both of these, and I did nothing to change the pattern. I absolutely did not change the pattern whatsoever. Yeah, weird fluids. True. Don't even get me started on Smuggy Chat. I have a sex toy review to do now. Which I guess that's gonna be a thing every once in a while. I love the Olio fonts. They're good stuff. Her poison absorbs through the skin. He could also have been scratched by the male lynx. It's mithril. Shame. Oh, you're talking about Venusian, you're talking about Harry Potter. Yeah, Harry Potter. Lux, keep the pumpkin away from the trans girls. Listen, if you can fit in there, I don't know if you understand. Okay, here's... If you can fit in there, then all power to you. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. God. Yeah, estrogen, like, yeah, I mean, estrogen, yeah, but this is not a very big PPP. This is like a 4.5, 4-inch PB. It's not a very big PP. I am small, so PP looks bigger in proportion. Because I am not a very large person. Anyway, Jay, what are you doing for Lunasa? Hello, there's 42 people in here. The meaning of life. We've made it. We've done it. Hit the like button if you're here to chill and hang out, because we're here to chill and do low energy vibes today. I'm doing a soul path clean out for Lunasa. Someone asked, so I do and didn't know, but they're taking place. What is a... How would you describe a soul path clean out? I know that in autumn it is a time for, like, cleansing and, like, removing things, so... I forgot that Lamas was coming up, now I have nothing planned. It's Tuesday, so, I mean, you've got a little... And it's also flexible. Listen, a lot of people who are into pagan stuff, and, like, I'm not super into it, but I enjoy it. Plenty of people, like, celebrate it when it's the nearest full moon to the holiday. Some people celebrate it on the nearest weekend, because that's when they have time. It's the great thing about pagan holidays, is you don't have to follow the schedule. It's not like Christmas, where, like, everybody you know is only going to get together on either Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. You can just kind of do your own thing. I will be getting the key to my new apartment that day, though. Well, then I would say one of the... If I would celebrate... If I was moving into a new place on Lunasa or Lamas, I would... I mean, I would probably, like, do something to christen the new apartment, which is dumb that I just said christen in the context of paganism, but you know what I mean. Like... burn incense, or burn a candle of, like, a candle of new beginnings or something. Maybe set up, like, a temporary altar on your first day getting into the apartment. How many people still know Douglas Adams in these dark times? We can hope. We can hope that we have plenty of people who know about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. You gotta establish the good vibes in the new place. But congrats on your new apartment or whatever. Like your mug. Thank you. It's a cute one. I missed Mama earlier saying, you're not very large? What about those muscles, though? Censored. No muscles for you today. I'm back in the gym, so I'm, like, enjoying the fact that I'm gonna start getting bigger again soon. I tried to breathe my coffee a minute ago, which is why I'm hacking and coughing now. Yeah, the pagan holidays are mostly harvest festivals, so there's no huge pressing to worship deities, just food, family, and good times. That's one of the things that's great about it. Although, Lunasa, I mean, Lunasa is named after Lu, who is a god of, like, crafting and skills and, like, all kinds of, like, contests and competitions and stuff. So, no, I have not yet unlocked the ability to breathe coffee. I wish. I wish. Douglas Adams died on my birthday. Not a good birthday present. Aw, man. Which birthday? Like the one, like your original one? I don't know when Douglas Adams died. He died in 2001. Oh, Ripperoonie. It's been a while. 16th birthday. Man. Just got a coffee plant. Hope I can keep it alive. Yo, I mean, honestly, a coffee plant, that's gotta be... They're tough. Like, they're tropical and they're tough. So I wish you all the luck in that. I set up a terrarium last week. I have a new terrarium set up. And I wanted to give it at least a week to kind of, establish and make sure that the plants in there are happy and not stressed out before I started introducing my isopods in there. Because what I'm going to do is I currently have like my 3 containers of my isopods or roly-polies. I have pet roly-polies if you don't know. And I have one species that's doing really, really well, and they're in a very large container. And I'm definitely going to move those into the bigger terrarium with like the plants in there, as opposed to just like the whatever bullshit is in there with them. Right now, it's not a very cute terrarium situation is what I'm trying to say. And then the other 2 containers are both the same species, but they came from different places. Like one of them was sent to us by someone who breeds them, and the other ones were caught in the wild by me. And I was originally going to dump all 3 of those containers into the main terrarium, but I think that I do actually want to keep the ones that I caught in the wild, because I went to the park with my partner and like caught bugs with my partner, and it was very fucking gay. So you know what? I kind of think that the current like slightly bigger box that I have my guys in, like those are the ones that I'm definitely going to take out. So I think once that's empty, I'll just take the wild caught ones and put them in there. And then I can keep like 2 terrariums of isopods instead of like 1 terrarium of isopod, kind of, and then like 2 tiny containers that suck. But I'm excited. There were some of you who were interested in bug cam, right? Some of you are interested in the idea of getting to see my bugs more often. So I think, yeah, when I move, which I will be moving in a couple of months here, I am going to like set up a camera inside the terrarium, I think, or like perched on the edge of the terrarium or something along those lines. And then whenever I like go to the bathroom or something, I'll switch on bug cam. Bugs are so fascinating, but they're terrifying at the same time. Well, my bugs are like shrimps, you know? My bugs are not like insects. They're just shrimps. They're roly-polies, you know? So they're not spooky. Wait, this isn't autumn yet? I feel the same way. Listen, it's almost August right now, and I'm almost a little bit annoyed by the fact that people are still doing summer, because we are approaching Lunasa. Like, pagan holiday is on August 1st, and it's the first harvest festival. So for me, I'm like, I guess like Lammas is, you know, like the last festival of summer type, like, because technically, like, yeah, I guess you've got like Beltane in May, and then Midsummer, and then Lammas. It bugs me that August and autumn have the same couple letters but do not happen at the same time. Yeah, what is the deal with August being late summer and not really technically part of early fall? Yo, there's 50 people in here. Just about 50 people in here chilling and taking it easy with us. So hit the like button if you want to chill and hang out. And you know what? Hit the like button before you leave if you're not planning on chilling. Because, yeah, it's been a weird couple of days for me health-wise, and I'm just trying to relax and not overheat in my apartment. The earwig terrarium would creep me out even though they're friends. What are earwigs? I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. What is an earwig? Oh my gosh. Slabs Hungry Bears, thank you so much. Join us. Horde of Grink, true. Thank you so much, Slaps Hungry Bears. I appreciate that. You lurking today. Queer Water and Valhalla Vidya. Enjoy your gifted subs. Enjoy your dicks. Dicks. I'm gonna get demonetized if I keep saying the word dicks. Too bad, so sad. Hell yeah, dude. I was lurking indeed. Yeah, y'all lurking. Earwigs are a bug. They look tasty. Or they look nasty. Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't look like friends. They kind of don't look like they would be very friendly. Oh, they're like, they live in the carpets. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. They're mostly nocturnal and often hide in small, moist crevices during the day, active at night, feeding on a wide variety of insects and plants. They're harmless detritivores. Oh, I see. Okay, okay, okay. I love detritivores. They're my favorite. Cute. Oh my gosh, we're doing dicks. Dicks, 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 dicks. They look like they would bite or sting. Yeah, they've got this, like, thing going on. They're like, don't love them. Yeah, earwigs. They're just like me, enjoying moist crevices. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm gonna have to do a sex toy review one of these days. Because my partner got for me, one of those, like, sucker toys, you know? And I had never used one before, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work. Because a lot of trans guys think, like, oh, they say, like, oh, you know, those are built for someone with a normal-sized clitoris. And, obviously trans guys who have taken testosterone have, like, bigger clitoris shit going on. But man, it's pretty good stuff. Those toys. They killed my... Oh, earwigs killed my entire batch of zucchini plants. No, I would be so mad. My autumn obsession deserves its own name. I'm going to call it autism. That's funny shit. There's so many people in YouTube chat today. I don't know if you know in YouTube chat. I guess a lot of you are, like, regulars, so you probably already know that you should come to the website chat. Website chat is where it is at. We have the custom emojis. We got the dicks emojis. I want to try those before and after bottom. I wonder if it would work on the feminine penis after estrogen. It does work quite differently. It's like a size thing. It's not really whether your peeper works different. Because, like, oh my god, it's not clean, or I would bring it from the other room. Let me show you a picture of the one that I got. Let me see. YouTube chat is the trash chat I feel comfortable in. I salute you. So the reason why these work the way that they do is, like, okay, so this is the one in question. This is like a sucker part, right? And there's like a hollow chamber on the inside, and that's like, it creates suction, yeah? And it, like, vibrates a little bit. So you get a little bit of, like, vibration stimulation, okay? But what you don't get is, like, it doesn't really work too well if it doesn't create, like, a seal. So you do need to use lube with it. And yeah, the thing is, like, if you're using it on a surface where it can't make a seal, you can hear a whole bunch of, like, sounds, and it's, like, not working. You know? So you have to be able to get it to, like, seal. Which, and, like, so basically you would be getting it just on, like, a small part of your peeper about, like, that big. That's, like, the whole, it's, like, it's not large. And this one in particular that I got doesn't have a, oh, I did make this backwards. I didn't remember that I made it backwards, but I did make it backwards. That's funny. I'm glad that you're able to see it so much easier. But yeah, like, this thing is, like, you know, it's not big. I thought I was having a stroke until I realized that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I made it backwards before so that we could watch Doe. Can I use this to drink apple juice? Would not recommend. I just don't want to be on the big chat because I might say something somebody doesn't understand without context, and I'm so tired of misunderstandings. Well, the good thing, tea leaves, is that I am a reformed SJW, which means that I don't really deal well with having a community of people who jump down each other's throats over misunderstandings. So whenever we have a misunderstanding, like in the Discord server, for example, which is public and open at all times, find the link in the description below. But, like, if there's like a misunderstanding, I go, like, hey, we don't jump down each other's throats over miscommunications. You know, you need to clarify that the person meant to be upsetting to you before you, like, have a big reaction, right? Mama says, I say stupid shit all the time on here and nobody cares. True. Not to get too smuggy, but the way my paper works, that actually sounds like it might work. Hey, that's, you know, you know, it's not inexpensive. This toy was like $90. Or like, maybe that was after tax. Like, there's also 2 different ones. One of these toys, and I think that it's the one that I got, it has like a sensor to where like the harder, it has like a setting. You can set the intensity high to low, you know, but it also has like a sensor in the head part where the harder you're pressing it against your body, the more it vibrates. So it basically like has haptic feedback for when you're like getting really into the moment. So that's cool. Do they make a cheaper version? Yeah, the one that doesn't, we went and got it at the sex store. You know, we went to the local sex store and got one. They sold 2 different versions, and the smaller version, or the one that didn't have that variable setting, was like only 70 something. But I think the cheapest sucker toy like this that we saw in the store was about like $40. And it was one of those rose ones, so could be worth trying. I have a new Bluesky code. Lux, biggest dono today, can have my code. We must feed the dragon. Oh, okay, I mean, that works. Like, biggest dono today gets a Bluesky invite. I don't know how much of an incentive that is, but worth it. I like Bluesky a lot. Does gifted subs count? I think gifted subs count. So biggest so far today is Slaps Hungry Bears. Just any dono counts, you know? I have really not been on Twitter that much. I go on Twitter to find, like, stuff occasionally, you know? If I'm like, oh, what am I talking about on stream today? Or, like, what am I doing today on the show? Like, I'll go and check, but I really am not, like, going there the way that I used to, in the sense that that's where I would hang out. Like, I would hang out on Twitter, you know, and be posting, and that's how I would catch up with the news and see what was going on with people. And I just don't want to be on there. I like just have no desire to hang out and like provide value to Elon Musk, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part that I don't want to deal with. I feel like whenever I post on Twitter, like, I'm just enriching Elon Musk, and I hate it, and I don't have fun there, so I'm just not there anymore. I'm on Bluesky. Biggest donation today gets a Bluesky invite, I guess, from Mama Mephistopheles. I have a friend who really wants a Bluesky invite. If you join, you get an invite every once in a while. Twitter sucks now. It's the biggest following I have. I've got like 4,000 followers on Twitter, which sucks. That's an account that just I don't want to be on anymore. And I don't really want to be on Instagram, and I really don't want to be on Threads, and there is no point in trying to have a public page where you promote things on Facebook. Like, absolutely not. Your comment didn't offend me, Jonathan Keller, but you got to pay me to get to, like, be able to talk to me that way. For sure. What is Bluesky? It's like Twitter. It's like a social media kind of like Twitter. And it looks a lot the same. Like, the website itself looks very similar. And you just post publicly like that. It's not like Mastodon where everything's all separate from each other. I don't really like Mastodon that much because of that. I heard a rumor that someone else is considering buying Twitter from Elon Musk. I fucking hope so. I hope they can save the brand. Like, it really was a great place on the internet to, like, learn new shit. I followed so many, like, Native American people and, like, black folks and intersex people, like, a bunch of folks who are not the same as me and who I could learn from. I got to Mastodon and it felt like walking into a dead subreddit. Yeah, I just couldn't quite grok it. It just didn't quite work for me. All these different social medias, like, don't work for different reasons. And technically, as an online creator, I should have an audience on all of them. But it's like I don't really know how much that converts over. If I post on Instagram, like if I post lifestyle stuff on Instagram, which is what Instagram is for, are people going, or like I guess like little leftist things, like I don't know how to make what I do work on Instagram, or I don't know if I can do something else on an Instagram and then have that actually pull through into like coming over to my major platforms where I have the income coming in, you know? As of right now, I think my idea right now for how I'm gonna deal with the death of Twitter is I made a free membership tier on my Patreon so that I have somewhere where I can post things if people want to follow me as a creator. And then I have my Bluesky account where I'm still trying to get a feel for what this website is about, and I just enjoy dicking around and like kind of posting whatever. That's more like personal posts and shit posts, I guess, on Bluesky. But yeah, so I mean, Patreon free tier is where people can expect to see me posting like YouTube community page, Bluesky, and Patreon is where I'm gonna kind of like try to focus my efforts now that Twitter is down. Twitter's up, but Twitter's down for the count. Like, it's a TKO, you know? Like, it's just, we're done now. Did you see what Musk did to the Twitter building sign? Oh gosh, so how does the saga go? Initially, they went to take down the sign off of the Twitter headquarters. And then the cops showed up because they didn't get a permit to like set up a bunch of equipment. Like they only got partway through removing this from the building because they were using, you know, like scaffolds, you know, and like equipment like this, like scissors lifts and stuff like that, and they didn't have permission from the city to do that. So the cops showed up, and they were like, hey, stop it. They were like, hey, don't do it. Hey, knock it off. So they only got this far initially, which is pretty funny to me. And then more recently, now that they've managed to take that sign down, finally, we have a new sign that is precariously perched on top of the building. Oh my god, I know that I have ad blocker turned off. Please leave me alone. San Francisco Chronicle. Please leave me alone. I know the screen is still backwards. It doesn't need to be forwards for you right now. Where are the pictures? Oh, thank you so much. Posting in the Discord server. Oh, what's going on over here? Discord, 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 Discord. Okay, we got a link. So the Twitter sign is still there, and now this is the X sign that they've put up there. It's so bright. Like, he's showing it illuminating. Oh my god, what? No way, dude. What? It, like, strobes and flashes super bright. Dude, that's fucking irritating. Oh, man. That sucks. Like, that really is a bummer. Anyway. Hey, Paint, yeah, I saw you're on Bluesky. I followed you over there, I think. So they didn't manage to get the sign taken down. Oh, let me find a better picture. A closer picture. Because it's pretty absurd if you see what all is, like, going on with that sign up there, actually. The building across the way is a rent-controlled elderly community. Oh my god, Elon hates everybody. I really feel like I gotta show you this thing. I need some better pictures. There was a picture from, like, behind the X that I want to see. don't know if I'm gonna find the picture that I wanted. New X logo Twitter. Nope. It's not it. New sign on Twitter building. New sign on Twitter building. It's one of those things where sometimes you see a post on Twitter and then you cannot find an equivalent on like a Google search. Anyway, what I was trying to show you... Fucking gnats in my face. Okay, Leia, let me... I'm gonna switch this. Camera and display. Primary monitor. Properties. Nope, that's not it. Primary monitor. Transform. Flip. Horizontal. Okay, no, now it's normal. Good. So, this thing is being held up by, like, these pieces of strut. That's called strut behind it there. Like, these, like... There's, like, these long posts that don't have anything to do with the actual X. You know, the X is the logo, but the strut, like, holds it up. And then that strut is... Oh, yeah, this is a nice big picture. The strut... I don't know if you can see that right there. This, like, pile of... So this is a person bending over. This is a person in a hoodie bending over right here. That's what this is. And this is a person standing there. This is a person standing in the scissors lift. This right here is a pile of sandbags. So the picture that I saw from earlier that was from behind shows that this entire apparatus... This entire big fuck off heavy apparatus with these giant LED things on there is being held in place. Like there's a beam on the bottom. Like, you know, on both sides, it's like it's got these tall beams going this way, and on the bottom of each one of those beams is like another beam going long ways. So it's like here's this, and then there's like a beam coming off of it, and it's going like off on both directions like this. And so on top of this, they've got sandbags. And that's it. It's just being held up by sandbags. Yeah, just add an X to the search. That'll narrow it down. It's such a good brand for SEO. Exactly, exactly. That shade of blue looks so good on you. Oh, thanks. This is just like a workout tee that I got from someone a long time ago. Right, can't wait for an earthquake or like a strong breeze to cause that thing to tumble directly into the street below. So, it's about as janky as you can get. And apparently, like, the authorities want, like, to go up there, but they can't. Like, this photo we were just looking at is from an article. San Francisco inspectors still can't inspect Elon Musk's new X sign on the headquarters. The San Francisco Department of Building and Inspection says it has been unable to inspect a new black X logo on the roof of Elon Musk's social media company, formerly known as Twitter, for 2 days in a row, after the company simply declined access to the structure. Yeah, on Tuesday, an attempt to remove the company's iconic bluebird sign and logo from its Market Street headquarters was rebuffed by city officials who said there was no permit filed, leaving only the ER remaining from the Twitter logo and one of the birds de-blued. Fast forward to Friday, when a large black X was erected on the roof of the building, prompting a notice of violation filed with the city for work done without a permit. Any replacement letters or symbols require a permit to ensure, quote, consistency with the historic nature of the building, and to make sure additions are safely attached to the sign. So a notice of violation was filed. The inspector assigned to this case on Friday, quote, spoke with the Twitter representatives and building maintenance engineer representatives, explaining BID's complaint investigation process and requested access to roof area. Twitter representative declined to provide access, but did explain that the structure is a temporary lighted sign for an event. I explained to all representatives that the NOV requires the structure to be removed with a building permit or legalize. I don't know, that person, that must have been someone's notes, like, jotted down or something. Anyway. So this is allegedly, they're like, you know what, well, we don't need to follow any specific rules about building inspections and stuff because our thing is a temporary structure, which means we're allowed to do whatever we want, apparently. Yeah, Gremlin Lord. I was thinking, Anthony, I was thinking about the epilepsy and stuff as well. Like, the fact that it's, like, flashing, you just kind of have to look away and hope that it doesn't trigger people. Welcome to the website, Venusian. Flashy and trashy, just like Elon. Yeah, meanwhile, you need 3 inspections to build a fucking deck. Right. You have to have a deck inspected if you're gonna build a deck. If you want to build a sunroom on the side of your house, like, you need to ask permission. Although part of the reason, to be fair, part of the reason why you need to have an inspection on any additions to your home, including something like a deck, is that you're altering the property value, which means that you're altering the amount of tax. And I'm not saying that I agree with this, to be clear. I think that the system by which we tax things is kind of dumb. But in this particular instance, if you add value to the home, the government wants you to pay property tax on the current actual value of your home. And that's why we've had so many issues. I don't know if any of you have seen posts. I've seen some stuff here in Kansas, like residents of Jackson County concerned because their trailer park houses are being valued at like $200,000, like old people on fixed incomes having their homes valued at these extremely high values. And the reason why that's a problem is because they are then expected to pay taxes proportionate to a home that's worth $200,000, which means you go from having maybe like a couple $100 or $1,000 worth of tax every year on your property. Now suddenly you have like multiple thousands of dollars that you owe because the government decided to do an inspection and decided to arbitrarily inflate the value of your home. I would not be surprised if Elon was legitimately nursing a grudge against rent-controlled apartments. Right. But the thing is that I think that he has to be intelligent enough and like aware enough to like know. And also like that requires a level of external attention. Like I think that Elon is just too self-centered of a person that he would do something that inadvertently fucks people over more than he would do something on purpose that fucks people over. Like, does he have any amount of awareness about anyone outside of himself that he would think for a moment about whether or not someone would be bothered by how bright this light is or by how much it flashes? Like, does he think that, like, does he just not, I don't really, whoa, shut up. I just don't think that he is considerate at all of how any of his actions may affect other people. And so he's not thinking, he's not thinking about this building and like how it's going to be affected or how the people inside are going to be affected. Or he's not thinking about the fact that making the thing strobe could cause some people to have an epileptic seizure. Like, I just don't think that he cares at all, or like it doesn't occur to him to think of those things. Hey, Shuffle, welcome to the website. We appreciate you. I built a deck and it was failed for being off by 1 centimeter by the inspector. Had to even add a guardrail to make code. Mersh, I feel like an inspector who's failing you for being off by 1 centimeter is profiling you, TBH. And I know that you have the resources to deal with it, but it definitely screams to me that you're being, like, messed with, right? Like, who fucking cares about 1 centimeter, dude? It's crazy the amount of stuff that, like, being friends with an inspector will let you get away with. That's what I mean, Mersh. Like, I literally think he doesn't care. I really don't think he even considers how his actions would affect other people. Like, I don't even think it occurs to him that his actions could affect other people. Or, like, that would matter at all. What if it's 1 centimeter away from being attached to anything? Well, fair enough. You know, you caught me. You caught me. Coffee is delicious. Yeah, the housing market inflation causes property tax to go up. They have to sell their homes so it can be bought up by corporate landlords who continue to make the problem even worse. It's by design, if not happy accident. Right, it's like, how many of these people who are in charge of setting property values for homes are, like, getting a kickback from corporations? We already know that I believe that corporations should not be allowed to purchase and, like, control residential properties. Like, I really think that you have to be a human being with a face in order to have, like, residential property in your portfolio. My brother's a civil engineer and used to work on figuring out limitations on brightnesses of signs and billboards. It is dangerous to drivers when things are bright and flashing and changing. Yeah, I mean, the, like, brightness of a sign can give you, like, night blindness if it's nighttime for sure. Yeah, exactly, Mersh. Using centimeters as an automatic life fail. Listen, centimeters make way more sense. Luxander declares its hatred for people whose faces are melted in steel mill accidents. I don't like you if you don't have a face. This is my official position. If you're one of those Muslim women who gets, like, acid thrown in your face and your face melts off, don't care. Don't care. Don't like you. You don't have a face. I'm sorry. I hope that it's clear that I'm being facetious. I'm just really low energy today, so the sarcasm really comes out quite serious sounding. I was concerned about pilots. I'm sure those pigs in police helicopters are gonna love flying by there. That's another thing too. Like helicopters. I think that one was getting pretty close to the sun. I mean, yeah, I guess I'm just trusting that none of you are gonna clip me out of context. Or that if somebody does, like, I mean, it should be pretty clear that I only say ridiculous things for the purpose of saying ridiculous things. Like, I don't know. I'm really just not... I don't really care that much about people trying to call me out. People... I've already been through this a couple times where people go through, like, all of my Twitter posts and they search for every time I've said the word black to try to, like, take me out of context saying something, like, racist or whatever. I mean, do you all remember when I straight up told a trans woman on Twitter that her gender wasn't real, basically? I mean, like, I was having an argument with her. I was having an argument in general on Twitter about, like, xenogenders. And, like, you can't attack someone's xenogender identity because of these reasons, because I could use the same arguments about you as a regular trans person. And someone decided to come at me and was like, oh, well, you know, if it's just your feelings, like, it's not real. I'm like, literally, your gender is fake. I can't remember what I said, but I basically just said something violently transphobic to this woman because she was being transphobic about non-binary people. So clearly I don't care that much about being clipped out of context. Luxander, will you ever do the Transatlantic Call-In show again? I would like to. Yeah, I gotta, I guess, get a hold of Jimmy maybe and see if there would be another good time to come on. Who do you want to see me go on with? Any of you who watched me on the Transatlantic Call-In show, I was on with Arden Hart both times. Would you like to see me go on with a different host in the future so that I can kind of plan, you know, like, I would love to get on with Katie Montgomery, for example, you know? I was thinking about crows and grilled cheeses. Oh, man. Grilled cheese is gonna have to be delicious. I know Nominal Naomi goes on sometimes. Yeah, but I mean, like, I think that it would have to be me and then a regular host, because I don't know how to run the show. And I don't think that an occasional guest like Nominal Naomi knows how to run the show either. Like, all the back-end stuff. Anyway. So I was thinking, like, one of the regular hosts, Dr. Ben. Ben is great because you deliver the flame and he delivers the science and facts. Yeah, I guess I could go on with Ben. Arden produces sometimes even when she isn't hosting. Yes, she does do that occasionally. But I also just mean, like, being a primary host and going, like, okay, well, this is the part of the show we're doing now, and, like, and doing the whole, like, and we're bringing on this caller, and, like, being able to see behind the scenes what the name of the caller is before they get on. Like, I don't have that. I don't have access to any of that. But I would love to go on again. was a lot of fun. The first time was way more fun than the second time, but the second time was still pretty good. I want to go and have people argue with me. That sounds fun. Argue with me. I feel like, does Katie... Who gets the most argumentative callers? I feel like Katie Montgomery probably gets a lot of very argumentative callers. You could be the backup primary host, like that time Matt Binder hosted Majority Report. I mean, honestly, if Jimmy paid me a little bit, I would probably be willing to be a regular host. Like, I could probably do that. I'm not in that space, so I'm just completely lost here. No worries, no worries. Arden Hart is a dope name. It's like, is that her porn name? Hart? Arden Hart? She definitely does porn, so maybe. Oh my gosh, it's time to drink more coffee. And probably some more water. Oh my gosh, y'all. Mama Mephistopheles said earlier that whoever donates the highest amount today will get access to a Bluesky code. So today it's Slaps Hungry Bears. Arden's dimples are insane. Agreed. Arden is one of those people who I met her after she's fully, like, transitioned hormonally and everything, and I'm like, I cannot imagine you as a man. Like, I literally just can't. I just don't see it. At all. Yeah, Transatlantic Call-In Show. It's like the Atheist Experience, kind of. So it's fun. Does anybody have any fun plans for the rest of the week? I like Katie. I like Katie too. I like Arden. I don't watch the show super often, but I like both of them. And I wish to stay on the mountain, so do several tiny donos like you're trying to launder money shittily. Slaps Hungry Bears does not want to be challenged today. Arden Hart's name is her entire online persona, including the porn, I think. I enjoy this blending of sex work into activism spaces. Swerf activity is far too common. I think that that's cool. That, yeah, like, she's not trying to keep those things separate. Lux, I can DM you the code so you can give it out to the biggest dono. Okay. That sounds good. I like the Katie hand-holding you through transphobia cartoons. She's wonderful. Oh, Paint, recovering from a hysterectomy. I'm glad that you're able to organize the house and plot with art. Hello, Prosy Rosie. How am I doing today? I have had some weird health issues this week, but, I mean, it's not, I say weird, I just mean, like, my regular health issues that I know about already are flaring this week in a way that is a little bit challenging. So, yeah, but I spent the whole weekend with my partner, basically, and then later today I'm gonna go pick up one of my siblings and hang out with her for a few days, and I'm probably gonna go swimming this week because she wants to go swimming, so that's exciting. Although I'm trying to decide whether I'm gonna, like, fuck up my hair by going actually, like, swimming underwater, you know? I don't have any swim caps. I'm literally considering purchasing a swim cap because I like my hair. It's very good. I've worked very hard to take care of it, and if I ruin it with chlorine, I'm gonna be upset. So, but I do want to go swimming. Celebrating my 5-year-old nephew's birthday on Tuesday, probably going swimming and having a picnic with my wonderful sister. Hell yeah, picnics are amazing. I have work and I need to prepare for not only a D&D session this Saturday, but I'm trying to make headway in the TTRPG I'm writing. That's exciting shit. Swim caps can be fashion. Is that some delts I see? It should be some delts. Is this is what you're talking about? Deltoids? Probably. I've been working out more, so. I skipped a couple days last week because I was on my period, but now I'm getting back into it. I finally got my ears to 0G. Nice. Mine are at 00. So that's what... This is what 00 looks like. Wah, 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 wah. It's like 10 centimeters, I think. Like, this is pretty much exactly 1 centimeter, I'm pretty sure. I got holes. Oh, swimming is praxis. Any trans girls out there who are worried about having a bulge, get a swim skirt and like swim shirt combo thing. People can't see anything. Yeah, get like one of those swim skirts. Amazing. Did I say 10 centimeters? I meant 10 millimeters. It's 1 centimeter, 10 millimeters. My bad. See, because my heart and my chest was feeling all weird earlier this morning, I did not take any Ritalin, so this is raw, unfiltered, unmedicated Luxander. Shirt shorts combo. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, 10 centimeter would be very big. Oh gosh. Is the autism winning? The autism is always winning. There is an Airbnb type service for renting out private pools if you are trans and concerned about going to a public pool. It's called Swimply. What? I hadn't heard of this before. Get the fuck out of my coffee, you shitty little gnat. Oh my god, please. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so Swimply, rent your private pool by the hour. Like, you just... It says escape locally, rent your own private pool by the hour. Like, it's... You can give, location, a date. You can see reviews. Oh, there's pool, pickleball, tennis, hoops, and yards. So that's cool. That's very nice. I like that. Yeah, it is trying to make my coffee more natural. My big naturals. Delicious. Cool. So yeah, overall I would say I've had a pretty good weekend. I'm gonna enjoy having an opportunity to, like, take a step away and have a chill stream. I enjoy that you all want to be here for a chill stream, because I do feel that every once in a while we really do need to have, like, a mental reset. And that probably means, like, especially now that Twitter is done, I feel like, some of the time, what ends up happening on my show is we don't just talk about the actual news. We also talk about, like, we also talk about, like, Twitter stuff. And, like, what are people talking about on Twitter? What are people doing on Twitter? And, like, this is what the discourse is about right now. And frankly, a lot of the community drama stuff happens on Twitter. So, you know, now I guess it's going to be more... If there's community drama, it's going to be in the videos and less on the social media. Unless people start beefing on Bluesky, which I don't think is going to happen. But, oh, it's not that I think that you don't like me, Prosy. It's that, you know, it's one thing for us to chill and hang out and talk about whatever. It's a different thing for us to do political content, which is what I'm, like, driving my content forward with. So I guess it's good to see that it's not just the political stuff, and that if I want to do something else with my time, then it's going to be possible for me to do that and still have plenty of viewers chilling, even if it's not a big dono day, which is fine. Like, big dono days don't always happen. I know it's rough for people all over the world right now, and my financial situation is about to get a lot easier, so I'm not too concerned. Yeah, parasociality for the win. We hanging out. It's irresponsible for me to show up on streams that aren't on Sunday. Yeah. And I am sorry, everybody. Just want to, like, periodically, like, warn you ahead of time. But in September, we're doing no Sunday streams. No Sunday streams. We're going down... We're only doing Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening, as we usually do. So... And then that's gonna last through most of October as well. And then after October, I'm gonna be, like, moving. I'm gonna, like, slowly take the time to move, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to, like, still keep the stream schedule normal. And then once I move, I will hopefully, like, in the new place, I'm just gonna plan on maintaining my stream schedule for now, although I might change it later on, you know? Just letting everybody know. Because I know that y'all really enjoy and appreciate the Sunday streams. And I like doing them because it gives me an opportunity to connect with those fans who are, like, across the planet, who can't usually be here. You know, if I start streaming at 5 p.m., then it's, you know, it's 11 p.m. in Britain, so it's kind of hard for you to responsibly catch the show. And then Sunday also allows me to catch, you know, the weekend, you know, the daytime weekend crowd is pretty solid in the US, and then it's like it's an evening stream for you all across the planet. So I love Sunday streams. Frankly, Sundays are like my favorite, I think. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. I'm so enthused about getting to do my show, but I'm having a part-time job for the Renaissance Festival. I'm in the US, and this is an evening stream for me. Oh, well, your shift is weird, right? Like, you wake up at night? The fuck is the burning ball of hatred outside? Listen, I'm trying to have an appreciation for the sun. I'm a pagan, so I'm trying to have an appreciation for the sun and, like, thank it for all that it gives us and, like, accept it and welcome it in the morning. Like, but it really is hard. It's hard to love the sun when global warming is happening. Like, it sucks how much, like, I feel alienated from nature because of climate change. You know what I mean? Does anybody else feel this way? Like, my religion, if you'll call it that, is about nature and about paying attention to what's going on out there and, you know, observing the changing of the seasons, right? And it's, like, really alienating that it's changing. It's like, it's as if something that has always been present for you is suddenly unstable. And that's what it is. Like, that is what's happening. There's, like, a sense of stability. Like, part of the reason why folks use nature as a part of their religious practice is because it's grounding, you know? Like, it, like, gives you something to anchor your life to, in a way, you know? And, like, the fact that it's changing and, like, summer is getting longer and like, spring and fall are getting shorter and winter is getting all weird. Like, it's so difficult. No, I'm not joking. So, to be clear, Prosy Rosie, I am an atheist. And I use the aesthetic of paganism to, like, project my philosophy onto. So, I don't actually believe in any of the weird shit, but yeah, I mean, like, I think definitionally I am a pagan. I've been becoming more and more witchy, and Washington has been slowly making my disdain for summer more actualized. Please tell me that Washington's fucking summers aren't, like, unbearable now, too. I'm trying to move there in a couple years. Doing my ancestral dances isn't really feasible now. You gotta do them, like, when it's not as hot. I only go outside on purpose on Saturday mornings to do my hikes when it's still only high 70s. Still only high 70s. I'm a pagan. I'm a pagan. We had pretty severe heat wave a couple of years ago. It was over 100 degrees. Gotta make sure you have an AC unit. Most places here do not have central cooling. Yeah, and I've talked to my partner about that. Like, you know, we both like the idea of the climate in Washington, but we also are aware that, you know, it is getting hotter there. And I was like, a lot of places don't have central air conditioning. And then he was like, I can afford a window unit. I think we'll be okay. I'm like, all right, I trust you on that. You know, he's a tradesman. He works a good job, so I miss the rain. It's becoming hotter every year. No clouds, only 90-degree weather. What? Why? Come on. And, like, right by the coast there, it's supposed to maintain a relatively, like, mellow climate, even as climate change accelerates over the next 40 years or so. Why? Ask the oil companies. I know. Stop it. Pagan is an umbrella term for nature-based religion. I'm under the same umbrella, but I definitely believe in the weird shit. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that magic is real. You know, I do weird stuff sometimes. Like, I do little ritualistic things that I know don't mean anything and that I know don't accomplish anything. Like, if I direct my energy towards something, it's just me, like, imagining that I'm sending energy toward it, and I know that that doesn't actually change anything in the world. Now, am I still going to build some kind of practice around the Greek goddess Tyche. Have you guys ever heard of Tyche? Or in Roman tradition, she was called Fortuna? Because I realized recently, like, I don't really want gods in my practice because I think that shit's weird. But I do like the idea of kind of honoring the concept of chance. And, like, if I were to, like, ask something to favor me or something, if I were to ask for a blessing or whatever, or if I were to acknowledge the power of something, it would be, like, chance. And, like, fortune and, like, yeah, chaos gods. Kind of, yeah, pretty much. So I literally just Googled, like, god of chance. And so in the Greek pantheon, you had Tyche, and she wasn't, like, they don't have any stories about her. So if you're sitting here thinking, oh my god, like, who is Tyche? You're like, I know who Aphrodite is, I know who Athena is, I know who Zeus is. Like, you know all those people because there's, like, stories about them. And there are no stories about Tyche. She, I guess, like, you know, in some tellings, she would hang out with Demeter, but, you know, there's nothing about her. But she was considered not only a personal god, but, like, a god of the city, and that she was kind of in charge of, like, the well-being and fortunes of the city. But she was, like, a capricious goddess. There was, like, other versions of her that were more about, like, good fortune, but Tyche herself was considered, like, unpredictable and capricious. That she, you know, she represents the whims of fate, like, both good and bad. Like, if someone who isn't particularly skilled is nonetheless very lucky and, like, ends up, you know, well-to-do and well-off, that person is said to have been blessed by Tyche. Whereas if you have another person who, like, you know, was born well off and is quite talented and skilled, and they just do very badly, despite not having any particular reason for that, then people would say that they were cursed by the goddess Tyche. So she is meant to represent the good and the bad aspects of chance. And, like, you know, gamblers would honor Tyche because they thought that it would help, you know, favor them in their gambling. So anyway, that's, like, the closest I've gotten to the weird kooky aspect of paganism, is that I'm a big fan of the Hellenistic religions, and I am willing to honor the concept of, like, the whims of fate and, like, the unseen kind of, like, influences that things have on each other, and that, like, so many of these things are kind of just a numbers game. Fortuna was the first deity I worked in my practice, inspired by drawing the Wheel of Fortune tarot card almost every day for, like, 3 months. Whoa, Jihariel, no wonder. I just don't like the Romans having stolen the entire religion, so I honor, like, the Greek version more. You know the myth that Washington is 9 months of rain, and how it's not literally 9 months, but more of an average for the whole year? It's starting to become 3 months of hell and 9 months of nice weather. I hate it. Ugh. Hate. Yeah, exactly, Mama. Doing a physical action is also a good way to help remember certain things. If you do a little ceremony around a concept, you will be more mindful of that concept than you would be if you just thought about it and moved on with your day. Yeah. And, like, my friend Silent was honoring the goddess Freya because, like, Freya is, like, a protection goddess, and, like, Silent was, like, basically leaving little offerings for Freya's protection. And I'm like, I don't think that I would honor Freya in that way, but I might, if I wanted, for example, my friend to be safe, which is why my friend was doing this ritual, was like, you know, she is honoring Freya because she wants to be safe. She wants Freya's protection. I would honor Tyche. If my friend agreed that it was okay for me to do this, I would do something kooky, like honor Tyche, and then just send my energy for good fortune. You know, like, I hope that my friend stays safe. Let the whims of fate, like, back her up and keep her well, you know? Like, that's the level at which I will engage, even though I know that realistically there's nothing happening. It's just me doing something with the feeling of, like, I hope my friend is okay. I prefer the Greek god names for the most part, but Hercules is superior to Heracles. I have no opinion on the Hercules-Heracles thing, although I understand that people who are really into the Greek and Roman thing get very annoyed. Did the dono work? I used PayPal, but I don't want to dox myself to any degree. Did the dono work? I haven't gotten a notification yet on my phone, but that does not mean that it has not come through. Sometimes my phone is just a little janky. Okay, yes. No, it's come through. Did you actually intend for it to be like $18.38? Or was that after the conversion? Because I'll make it. 28, 38. That's what the dono is for today. There we go. So yeah, if Venusian, if you want, you can get the... oh, it's conversion. I got you. So yeah, if you want the Bluesky code for today, I have the Bluesky code for you. If anybody donates more... or no, it was 18. Why did I... it needs to be at 30. You sent me 18, so this needs to say 38. Hell yeah. I'm British, I see. Yeah, British. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday, innit? I'm an atheist, and sometimes I wish that my inherent skepticism didn't strip the wonder from it. Yes, it's mindfulness and placebo, but that's such a clinical way of looking at it. I mean, honestly, like, I am an atheist and a skeptic, right? So that's the perspective that I'm coming at it from. And, like, at a certain point, you just have to, like, let yourself do stupid shit because it feels good, you know? Like, why do I have a wand right now? Like, why... there was a storm. There's been a few good storms this summer, actually. There's been a couple of good storms. Why is it that I went out and got a particular branch off of a tree that had fallen? You know, like, because, like, why am I the type of person who would ask a tree before cutting a branch off of it? But it's better, like, the tree dropped the branch, and I was like, okay, that means that I could have that. Like, you know, the tree gave it to the world. So, like, why do I have a wand that I'm using to, like, direct my energy when I'm, like, removing something from my altar or when I'm putting something new on my altar? Like, why am I doing that? I don't know. It's just, like, it just feels good, and, like, it's just to help me structure my brain a little bit. I'm sure hosting Takis with Katie would go very well based on this conversation. What drew you to being pagan? I don't know. Like, I was a teenager who was into the concept of Wiccanism, and then I grew up and kind of went away from that, and now I'm like, I like the witchy vibes, and I like the nature stuff. Oh, the Tuesday thing. Yeah, I'm not going to make fun of Katie for being British. I think learning how things actually work improves the majesty for me. Like, the biggest enjoyment I get out of magic tricks is working out how they did it. I've had magicians tell me, oh, don't do that, you're ruining it for yourself. And I'm like, you don't know my life, Mom. Yeah, like, something can still be amazing even if you understand how it's being done, you know? In fact, that might make it even more amazing. You'll be like, wow, I didn't know that you could do that. I think evolutionarily, humans just have a spiritual nature to explore and express. Fundamentalist religion seeks to limit and control that. Magic thinking or bipolar, who knows, don't care anymore. Well, I mean, and it's not just humans, right? Because other animals also have pseudo-spiritual practices, like holding funerals and, like, leaving offerings. This is stuff that, like, elephants do, yeah? And crows honor their dead. Elephants might have lunar ceremonies where they, like, worship the moon, right? Like, the concept of elephant gods. Yeah. Like, I think that we just have a need to find meaning in the world. And we have a need to, like, feel emotionally connected to other people and other things. And I think that that emotional sensation, like, that emotional need for connection and meaning... God, these gnats are just really bothering me. I think that is what spirituality means. Because sometimes I want to use that word. Like, this feels very spiritual to me. But, like, I think that like, spiritual is the word that just is the amalgamation of those feelings of, like, connection and meaning. Esoteric? Not quite. Esoteric means, like, abstract and... I mean, I don't know. How would you define esoteric? Intended for or likely to be understood only by a small number of people with specialized knowledge or interest. So that's not quite, I don't think, what I'm going for. I'm not sure if this counts, but I'm pretty sure that wolves howl to mourn dead pack members. It's like, are they just speaking their pain? Or are they, like... Or are they calling to the moon or something, you know? Like, what is it that what is the reasoning behind it? Mourning is one thing. I think anyone can mourn regardless of spirituality. But those moon rituals got my interest. Yeah, but, like, if you leave an offering for a dead being, if you understand death and that it's going to rot and be eaten by things, then, like, if you offer something to a dead thing, like, if an elephant were to, like, for example, like, put a flower next to a dead body, then I would consider that not just mournful, but also, like, something is going on there. But I understand what you mean. I need a Tyrannus wheel at this point. A Tyrannus wheel? Like... I think I know what that is. I found out this morning that Milan Kundera, author of my favorite book, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, died earlier this month at 94 years old, and she wrote a lot about fascism and the unknowingness of things. I mean, that's a good long life. 94 years, I feel like that's a good long life. I've been thinking about old age, you know, the last couple days. You know, okay, so here's the thing. Circling back around to what we were talking about earlier on stream. There was... The Lord of the Rings, you know? And, like, Sir Ian McKellen was old even then. I was looking at his eyes, and you know, like, when old people, like, their under eye area gets, like, really bulgy and saggy, you know? I was looking at his eyes, and I was thinking about his old age face, and, like, the makeup process, I guess, is part of what I was thinking about. But then I was like, these movies came out in, like, 2001? They were being filmed in, like, 2000? And... he was already an old man. And he's still an old man. Like, he is still now an old man. And I was thinking about how, like, you know, I guess you kind of think when you look old, then, like, death is imminent or whatever. But really, if you get old and you start to look old, you still have 20 years of being old. Like, not, like, old, like, in the sense that you're, like, well, I'm decrepit and I can't get around anywhere. Just, like, you have so much time. Like, you have so much more time than you think. Ian McKellen was in his early 60s filming Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Not that old. Not that old, but he still looked it. But, I mean, in your early 60s, that's, like, old. That's, like, pretty old. Usually people in their early 60s look old. Excuse me. But, like, yeah... I'm gonna be really upset when he dies too. I think about that sometimes, Mama. Like, the delivery of certain lines that are really meaningful to me in Lord of the Rings is one thing, is one reason why I'm gonna appreciate him. But also, like, Sir Ian McKellen is a trans ally. You know, Sir Ian McKellen is, like, he keeps saying stuff like there are so many similarities between the way people are talking about trans people now as how they used to talk about gay people when he was a young man. And he's like a trans ally. And so it's not only his portrayal of Gandalf that I find, like, I'm gonna be really upset when he dies, but he also is just, he's a gay man who lived through the AIDS crisis and is now a queer, like, ally to trans people. And I just love him, and I'm gonna be very upset when he dies. When Patrick Stewart dies, that's gonna hit hard for me. Yeah, yeah, you're a big Star Trek person, and I can see that. It's probably gonna upset me too, but maybe not as much. Like, Sir Ian McKellen, like, has a place. I want an entire stream in the old Lux persona. What's the old Lux persona? What are you talking about? The SJW Lux persona? Is that what we're talking about, Venusian? People seem to start feeling limited in their 70s. In your 80s, you feel it for sure. That's when mobility issues start. Those who are frail and have trouble walking die soon, I've found. Yeah, it's like, there's a pretty high correlation with remaining active in your old age and like having stuff to do and like you actually die. Oh, the elderly person voice, I see. The old person Lux. When William Shatner goes, I probably won't be that upset. I'll be like, good riddance when fucking Bill Shatner dies. My mom is actually kind of an inspiration to me in this regard. When my dad left her, her whole life fell apart, and she was about 45 years old. And since then, she's gone back to school, started a new career, and advocates for people with substance abuse problems in the Texas Capitol and at national conferences. She started a whole new life at middle age, and still has a lot more ahead. That's good shit. I really appreciate being friends with old people, which sounds weird, but like I'm coming up on the Renaissance Festival, and there are like a couple of old men in their 70s and 80s who I'm like excited to see. I'm like, ah, man, I can't wait to see Ted. You know, Ted's a good dude. I've gotten to know him a little bit better over Facebook over the past year, so that's cool. And like, it's just good to be friends with people cross generational lines. And you can like get their experiences and feel like a sense of continuity between what culture was like then versus what it's like now. And then like, yeah, hear it from the first person perspective. One of my old guy friends like fucking fractured something in his back recently, just trying to like throw a trash bag away. Like, you know, just trying to like load up a trash bag into the back of the truck or whatever. So yeah, I mean, at a certain point, your body just, like, starts doing shit. Who's your IRL inspiration, Luxander? Is it bad to say me? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how that comes across. I am my own inspiration. Like, I am my own, like, that's the person who I want to be. Like, because I know that I have a standard that I can reach. And, like, other people are gonna disappoint me in unexpected ways. And at least all of the ways that I can disappoint myself are expected. And also, like, I constantly surprise myself. Like, there have been so many times where I think my life is about to end. Like, and I don't mean, like, I'm gonna kill myself. But I mean, like, that, like, my life as I understand it is gonna, like, fundamentally change and shift. And, like, every time that shit happens, I manage to, like, make it through and, like, make myself a good situation. Like, bad situations happen to me, and I managed to make a good thing out of it, you know? Like, my partner and I very seriously almost got divorced, and that I could have been broken by that, but I wasn't. And I'm like, you know, we are moving back in together and have decided we're definitely not gonna get divorced, but, like, I still did this whole thing where I, like, lived alone. I started bettering myself, like, I exercise, I do therapy, like, I just constantly surprise myself. So, yeah, when I'm thinking, like, who can I live up to today? Like, what example can I live up today? It's like, it's just me against me every time. And it makes it a lot easier in the sense that, you know, if you look up to someone like, I don't know, Chase Ross, who is a trans man on YouTube, and then you find out that he's been super abusive to his best friend, who is also a trans man who you like a lot on YouTube, and then you're like, uh-oh, that's unfortunate. Like, someone who made me feel normal in my queerness turned out to be, like, abusive. So it's, you know, you only need that to really happen to you, like, once. Or at least for me. You know, you only need to, like, put that into someone else and have them ruin it, like, once before you're like, oh, I'm not gonna put that in someone else. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. I like that philosophy. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like a deliberate philosophical position that I came to. It's just like, who am I? Who do I compare myself to? Who do I aspire to be like? Just the better version of myself. Like, the aspirational version of myself is who inspires me. The person who I can envision myself being is what inspires me to be more like that person, I guess. So, I don't know. Cheers. We're still drinking coffee at 1:30 in the afternoon. At least it's decaf, you know? Decaf is not too bad for the middle of the day. This Twitter shit is just absolutely insane. I'm inspired by the search for meaning rather than any specific meaning. I need food and coffee. Take care of your body. Slaps Hungry Bears. Take care of your body. Parasocial stuff is tough. I feel like I can look up to my mom because I also know about the bad parts of her personality and who she is, and I think it's good to understand that people can be flawed and still good. Not abusers, though. Fuck Chase Ross. Yeah, people can be flawed and still good. I'm flawed and still good, you know? Like, I accidentally hurt people's feelings sometimes. I make mistakes. I make bad apologies. Like, you know, I do all those same things that everybody does. My real life inspiration is the Kool-Aid Man, but I kind of feel bad about it now. Oh no. Need food, but can't hear the stream in the kitchen. Rest in pieces. I started identifying as a problem more seriously than the meme jokes is meant to be, and tried to solve the puzzle of me. I feel a little bit conflicted about the whole, like, I identify as a problem, or, like... Okay, so this might be an unpopular opinion, I guess. I actually don't love this tendency that we're starting to see where folks, like... It seems like a lot of people are taking this my feelings matter perspective, which is correct, and then they're like taking that as like a every time my feelings are upset, I'm just gonna immediately go to this person and talk to them about how they upset me. And I think that shit's kind of annoying, because I really do think that you should take a period of time of going like, does it make sense for me to be upset about this thing? Like, did this person, like, if someone is late for plans that you made with them, like, if someone's late and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I had some stuff come up this morning and I just was too busy to text you, and they go like, okay, well, I just want you to know that for our friendship going forward in the future, it's really upsetting to me. I have fear of abandonment, and so, you know, if you're gonna be late, you know, I really expect a certain level of communication. And it's like, okay, I was late one time for like a regular, like a thing that we do on a fairly regular basis, like a fairly casual thing that we do on a fairly regular basis. Like, yes, I'm referring to a specific situation in my past. I really think that shit's annoying. And it makes me feel like you are high maintenance as a friend. Like, I need in my friendships for a certain amount of like, you can deal with your own feelings. Like, I don't want to hear about how I was a little bit late and it triggered your fear of abandonment. That's your problem. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, if I was late all the time, that would be different, right? If I was late all the time. But if I'm late once and someone's like, for the sake of our friendship, this triggered my fear of abandonment, I'm like, I don't care. It's different. It's not an oversharing that it is so much as like a, I'm gonna try to make you like accountable for this. And it's like, wow, I really kind of was hoping that you could like, yeah, if you're a little bit upset by your friend being late, like, that's for you to deal with on your own. And then if it happens like a couple times, then you can be like, look, this is bothering me a lot. And not like immediately come out being like, I'm responsible for your triggers. You know what I mean? But I don't know. And like part of that, I guess it's because I always process and deal with my feelings before I try to problem solve with someone else. I always do that first. So that, I guess, can make me kind of dismissive of other people. It's like when my partner is trying to tell me about a problem, and like maybe this is probably not going to happen as much anymore, but it used to be that he would tell me that he was upset with me about something just for the sake of telling me. And I was like, my response is to go like, okay, well, do you want me to do this? Like, how can I make it up to you? Do you want me to do this? Like, how can I do this differently in the future? Like, I try to problem solve. And if my partner is just like, I just want to tell you that you upset me, I'm like, why? Like, why would you do that? Why would you tell me that? Like, if you don't expect me to do something, like, why are you even telling me that you're upset? Now I just know that you're upset, and apparently there's nothing I can do to solve the problem? Like, now we're just both upset. You've just looped me into you being in a bad mood. I'm so excited. I finally collected mugwort, wormwood, lavender, and sage. Got me pretty smells. Ooh, nice. I want to grow some, like, actual lavender. That would be gorgeous. Also, hello. We're just here hanging out and enjoying our each other's company. Hit the like button if you would. Even if you're not going to stick around, hit the like button, because I'm having a good time having this convo with you all. Whoever donates the biggest donation today gets a Bluesky code, and the current biggest donation is 1838. So. Random question, what martial art would you practice? Krav Maga. If I had the opportunity. It's deflection of responsibility. I've been watching great psychology YouTube videos lately about self-accountability. Yeah, misery loves company. Right, it's like, why are you telling me that you're upset if you don't expect me to do something to do? Yeah, I had an immediate... I was ready. I've thought about it. What martial art would I practice? Krav Maga. Straight up. Like... It's like a body thing. It's about, like, being able to grapple a little bit. Because that's the thing about me. If I get caught in a grapple, I'm fucked. Because I am skinny and not very heavy. So I don't really want to get caught in a grapple by, like, a 250-pound man or something. You know, when I'm going out a walk in a like, remote location and, like, there's a 250-pound man coming down the pathway the other direction, I will deadass just fucking turn around and walk away. I'll, like, change my path in the middle of what I'm doing to get away from a dude, because I can't do grapple. Doesn't Krav Maga literally have a sand pocket move, a pocket sand move? Pocket sand. I watched, so I don't watch Shadiversity anymore because Shad is, like, apparently super homophobic and obviously, like, by extension also transphobic. But they did a recent video, like, a few months back about, like, does pocket sand actually work as a, like, would it work as a medieval weapon or any weapon? I'm like, yeah, actually it does. But the thing that it does more than you would expect is it goes up your nose. Like, that's the thing that makes the pocket sand highly effective. It's not so much that it gets in your eyes, although it will if you're not wearing, like, glasses. But if you grab a pocket of sand from your belt and you throw it up, like, you're like, yeah, it's gonna go up into their face and, like, up into their nose. So, like, that's the problematic part of pocket sand. Shad really feels off. Yeah, Shad is, like a very much a homophobe. Like, 100%. He's like, children should be taught to be normal. He's like, children should be taught that boys should be girls and girls should be girls. And they should be taught that heterosexuality is better than homosexuality. Like, he literally is a psycho. I used to watch Shadiversity and Jill Barup, and then it turns out they're both bad people. Yeah, I didn't watch Jill, but Shadiversity, I enjoyed his videos because he talks about, like, castles and medieval weapons and, like, medieval culture. Because he's really into that shit, you know? But he's, like, not into it in a good way. Shadiversity is the kind of guy who doesn't cuss because of his Christianity. Like, because of his Christian religion, he doesn't cuss. Chad once tried to unironically argue that women can't be knights because they don't like violence. Yes, which means that, like, any woman who's in pro sports that's, like, pro boxing, he can just say, that's not a real woman. Like, oh, that's a trans woman, or she's a freak. Like, the exceptions, they never really think about too hard, you know? Boys should be girls, and girls should be boys. Hard agree. Hard agree. But no, you don't really need to care. Is it better to use finer or coarser sand, or is it a happy medium? I personally... Well, it's sort of... I don't know. I'm thinking about liability. I'm thinking about if you throw a handful of dirt or sand into someone's face, and some of it gets, like, stuck in their eyeball, what would be worse? Or, like, is it less possible for there to be sand in their eyeball if you throw coarse sand? You could blind them. But we're talking about self-defense, you know? We're talking about we have dry sand in our pocket as a self-defense move. Assuming no liability, what does the most damage and distracts them the most? Oh, it needs to be fine. It needs to be relatively fine. Relatively fine because then they'll breathe it in. Relatively fine because that will get into their eyeballs the worst. Relatively fine is gonna be the way to go for sure. And, like, maybe with some chunks in there, like some slightly bigger chunks that will have a more, like, immediate stinging effect, kind of like hitting, like, rocks. Would pocket flour work, or is that too fine? It's too fine. It doesn't have enough weight behind it. It would just floof in the air, which you could then set it on fire if you wanted to, but it's not gonna have the same effect of, like, being in the face. Having had dry sand thrown at me a lot in my life, it's really not that bad, actually. Well, it's, again, we're talking about specifically the angle. If you're coming up, like, you're hold on. You've got, like, sand in your pocket, right? You've got sand down here, and you go, it's going up. Like, that's the thing, is it's going up into people's face and eyes and nose. I wouldn't want sand in my pocket. That's where my phone goes. You have a special pouch just for your pocket sand. Just a special pouch on your belt. Shad has a super reactionary brother who I think influences him. Oh, okay, well then he's stupid and bigoted. He gets to be both of those things. He's not even a smart bigot, he's a stupid bigot. Ultimate way to insult them is to make them have glitter on their face, easier to identify them later. Yeah, well, the glitter thing is... Yeah, glitter can cause corneal damage for sure. Like, glitter, yeah, is something that can really harm people and blind them. Yeah, exactly, Queer Water. It sucks about Shad in retrospect. It's not that surprising, though. He's a creepy weirdo. I don't know what Metsubushi is. I think all bigotry is stupid, TBH. You gotta be fundamentally stupid on some level to be bigoted. I think you can be malicious and intelligent. Like, you know what I mean? Because I don't know if those bigots actually even believe those ideas, or if it's just convenient for them. Like, it's that fundamental question of, do the fascists actually believe that Jews are bad, or is that just like a convenient thing? Yeah, pepper spray is just easier to carry pepper spray. I carry pepper spray everywhere I go that I take my keys with me. I tested mine recently. Though, this is your public service announcement, y'all. Public service announcement. When was the last time you tested your pepper spray? Have you checked the expiration date on your pepper spray? Here's my personal opinion. You should be testing your pepper spray often enough that it is empty before it expires. Like, you should test it, like, once a month. Now, I went a little bit too long between testing mine, but I did test it recently because I've been going on walks in, like, some, like, remote places recently where there aren't always a lot of people. So if something were to happen and someone attacked me, there's not always a lot of people around. And I test my pepper spray. Especially if it's rocking around in your purse, especially if it's on your keys and it's getting knocked around in your pocket. Check to make sure your pepper spray is still working and in date. I mean, like, spray a little bit of it, you know? Like, actually make sure that the spray head is functional. Anti-Semitism isn't a new thing, though. Oh, I mean, yeah, no, obviously, anti-Semitism is ancient. I genuinely think that they think we are bad. I'm getting a lot more alarming comments now as a Jew. Well, so the question, Eric, is there are people who have been convinced that Jewish people are, like, harming others, right? Like, there are people who have been convinced of that. But the people who are making that shit up, do they actually think that Jews are causing those problems? Or are they just pointing at you to see, like, how it goes? They usually last at least a year, Shade. They typically have an expiration date sticker on them. I think that my expiration date sticker fell off. But, yeah. Usually, like, at least a year. It's more of a genuine sense of deep disgust and a misunderstanding of what our religion even is. I don't even think it has anything to do with your religion, though, Eric. Like, frankly, I don't think that Jewish people are hated because of their religious beliefs. I think that you are hated because there is some, like cultural sense against you. Some are. Maybe some. Like, but I don't think that's the main purpose. They say stuff about how, like, you guys are greedy and you guys control the media. Like, they, you know, they use Jewish people as, like, almost like an Illuminati-esque, like, ooh, they're pulling the strings. It's just a scapegoat, yeah. I don't have a knife, but I do have a multi-tool in my bag at all times because it's so incredibly useful. You should not, like, pull a knife on someone who could disarm you. Like, knife training is something that you need for sure. Metsubushi is a variety of implements and techniques that were used in feudal Japan by samurai police and other individuals to temporarily or permanently blind or disorient an opponent. One type of Metsubushi was used by police for blowing powdered pepper into the eyes of a suspect. It is described as being a lacquer or brass box with a wide mouthpiece for blowing on, and then a hole or pipe on the other end for directing the powder into the eyes of the person being captured. One type of Metsubushi powder was made up of ashes, ground pepper, mud, flour, and dirt. For severe damage, it could also include fine ground glass. It was kept in hollowed-out eggs, bamboo tubes, or other small containers. So when confronted by an attacker, a person would blow the Metsubushi into the attacker's eyes, blinding them. That's fucked up, dude. This is a line drawing of a Metsubushi. It looks like a whistle, kind of. Like, it has a mouthpiece over here. This is, I'm guessing, where you would blow it. And then there's, like, a hole on this end or something where it comes out. That's cool. Medieval solutions to medieval problems. Mine didn't have an expiry. Okay, well, that's rough. It should have. It should have done. I would say keep it for a year then, and probably go ahead and replace it after a year just to be safe. Because it's not like you can test it on yourself to see if it still is functional as pepper spray. Yeah, pepper spray is a better self-defense weapon than a knife. Pepper spray is a ranged weapon. Discombobulate. Discombobulate. Scapegoats originated in the Bible. I'm looking at Leviticus 16:21 through 22, and it actually puts an interesting spin on the casting of one minority as the target for one's angst. Wacky. Isn't Leviticus in the Old Testament? So yeah, that's the Jews. Like, the Jews' paperwork says, don't be fucking coming after minorities and stuff. You can test it on yourself if you aren't a little bitch. I really wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend attempting to test pepper spray on your own self. Now, if you've got, like... No, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. That would be fucked up. That would be fucked up. Anti-Semitic people believe all kinds of conspiracy theories. They link Jews with the Rothschilds, international banking, military-industrial complex. They say that they're globalists. Yeah, it's crazy. What's up? Hey, Joanna. We're just kind of, like, chilling. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Right now, we're sort of talking about scapegoating and, like, Jewish people, but... And, like, pepper spray and other improvised weapons, I guess. Violet says, best improvised weapon IMO is a frying pan. I can't argue with that. You just pick it up and it's there. It's working. What's up, Connie? Yeah, y'all who are coming in, welcome. We're just vibing today. We're just vibing. We're just chilling. Hit the like button, even if you don't want to stay. That's fine. Is the frying pan thing a reference to the movie Tangled? I don't think it's supposed to be. I think that Violet is just saying that she has had a lot of conversations, hypothetically, about improvised combat tools. I want to share a self-defense resource on Discord, but not sure where. If there's like sharing links channels in my Discord, if that's what you're talking about. So like sharing links channels are gonna be good places to post that stuff. My emotional support coworker and I decided that I could play Russian roulette by doing an oral food challenge with mushrooms since I'm allergic to only some forms of fungi. But why? Why would you do this? I gotta drink more water, dude. I'm really, really thirsty. Shovels? Yeah, shovels have range. I'd like to like mushrooms in food. So this is a situation where you're trying to locate the mushrooms that will make you itchy versus the ones that won't. Thor's hammer is a symbol of protection because you can grab and whack with it. Hammers. Hammer's an improvised weapon. Some hammers are meant to be weapons, but that's true of axes as well. Some axes are meant to cut trees, some axes are meant to cut necks. Mushroom roulette, but they're all safe, and one is psychedelic. It would take a little while to find out, wouldn't it? Oh no, I want to like mushrooms in food, as opposed to, say, eating ramen and ending up in the ER. Because shiitake mushrooms do it. Ooh. Yeah, that's scary. I'm legitimately allergic to coriander. I love the taste, but my organs swell and I spew blood from my throat. Oh, that sucks. I just am a regular old don't like the taste of cilantro person. I like coriander, okay. We draw a distinction. Coriander is like the, it's the seed part of the plant. And the leafy part, we call it cilantro. Cilantro. Sag. We do actually have Sag as an emote on the site. Excuse me. I know that reishi, shiitake, and portobello mushrooms are ER trip inducing. Does that mean that you can't eat regular button mushrooms? Like regular white I thought regular white mushrooms from the grocery store are like... they're just unmatured portobellos, aren't they? I haven't actually tried any other types of mushrooms because Halfling Rogue would kill me. Yeah, partner doesn't appreciate you attempting to put yourself in the emergency room with mushrooms, huh? Good grief, y'all. Stretchy stretch. But what does a truffle taste like, and can I have? I don't know what truffles taste like. I haven't tried truffles straight up before. I've had them in something, or I was like, oh, this pizza that you got has truffle oil on it, and so there's like a mushroomy type taste, but I don't know what truffles directly taste like in the way that I know what mushrooms taste like. Is broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, and some other veggies all part of the same plant, just grew differently? Broccoli and cauliflower, I know for sure, are both the same plant, but they have been bred to have different, like, different features, essentially. You know? Spinach is different, though. Truffles are a sensory experience. Yeah. Brassica Oleracea is the broccoli and Brussels sprout daddy plant. Brussels sprouts even. Wow. I should make some Brussels sprouts tonight. That sounds yummy, actually. I'm supposed to make dinner for my sister and I, and I'm probably going to make curry. I think that she'll be into that. But then, if we're not both full, we can make Brussels sprouts. Oh, I see. You're talking about chocolate truffles paint, not like mushroom truffles. Good grief. Okay. Drink more water, y'all. Drink water. Take care of your body. Delish. Ew, water. Water is so good for you, okay? I'm allergic to seafood, but I like the taste of seafood, so I add seaweed to my food sometimes. Whatever works. I'm just trying to eat less seafood because I don't want microplastics in my body, you know what I mean? Are radishes the same as cabbage, or just close? I know the flowers are similar. I'm not sure. I would also like to try psychotropics sometime, but what if I trip balls in the ER? You can start off with a small enough amount that you don't trip. Like, a small enough amount that would tell you whether you're allergic, but that would not cause you to have much more effect than just, like, being kind of giggly, you know? Yeah, microplastics actually give you superpowers. Something awesome was I found a free recliner someone left out for people to take, and now I have a great reading chair to read in and chill. This is a public service announcement. If you're going to pick up furniture, like a couch, off of the curb, honestly, I would highly recommend you put that couch or chair in a secure location that's not directly in your apartment immediately, so that you can determine whether there are bed bugs on it. Because people will do fucked up stuff, like they'll just put out a chair or a bed, like they'll put mattresses outside. Like, it's horrible. I do not endorse the use of illegal substances. So, I mean, you know, I know that Slaps Hungry Bears lives in Washington, and in Washington, they have decriminalized mushrooms for psychedelic purposes, I believe, right? Am I wrong? Washington decriminalized psychedelics? So I think it's not like, oh, it's Oregon. Oh, Oregon did that. Okay. I thought that it was Washington as well, but I could be wrong. But I was operating under the assumption that it would be legal there. So just so you know, I'm not recommending you do anything unlawful. There are jurisdictions in Washington that decriminalized it, but not statewide. Okay, I see, I hear you. I will not pick soft furniture up at all. Yeah, I like, why? It would be such a risk. I would not want to risk it. With, like, any upholstery, I should say. Like, I would not... I mean, you can steam it before you bring it in, you know? If you have, like, soft furniture. Speedy, exactly! I work at a secondhand store, and we often get people dumping bed bug-ridden stuff. Like, ew. Why? I'm allergic to mushrooms too, says Lindsay in the YouTube chat, and my plan is to test the magic kind a tiny bit at a time after a dose of Benadryl. But I don't have an anaphylactic reaction to mushrooms, just hives. That makes it a little bit safer. Just marginally safer. If there was anything living on it, it's dead already. The only way to get rid of bedbugs, like the only way to disinfect against bedbugs, is by steaming them. Like, it's pretty much the only thing you can do. Is subject them to very high temperatures. So a lot of the time, if I buy clothes at a secondhand store, I will leave the clothes in the plastic bag in my car for several days. Yeah, I saw you earlier. I was like, so I started making clarifying statements like, yeah, if you're getting an upholstered thing, and I'm also not just talking to you, I'm making a statement for everybody who hasn't ever thought about the idea that someone might give them a couch with fucking bed bugs in it. Like, yeah. I also do that, Lux, but it's more because of executive dysfunction. Oh, like, but I'll leave it on purpose. I will tie the bag shut and leave it in my car because I know that in the summertime, my car gets to be like 120 degrees in there. Leaving it out in below freezing weather can kill fleas, FYI. Yeah, we're talking about bed bugs, and bed bugs can, they can be frozen and they can remain without food and water for like up to a year. Like, they can go up to a year without eating and still live. So you also can't just pack up stuff and hope that they die. The last time I had a reaction to mushrooms, it was from reishi, and I ended up with a fountain of vomit and shit, bleeding from both ends. That's scary. I'm glad that at least my my digestive issues are like, I just get like really soft poops sometimes. Just really soft poops. Death by sauna. Exactly. You just steam them. You steam them. I had to deal with a scabies scare once and I froze my stuff. Morels look so tasty though. Morels are also not technically mushrooms. Like, they're kind of technically a different thing. Also, morels are highly tasty. I would say it's worth the risk to try a morel mushroom because it's insane how delicious they are. Damn, I get really rough poops. Well, I recommend having lactose intolerance, mama. Yeah, I think morel mushrooms are fucking amazing. They taste like if you eat them fried, and we always deep fry them. Like, I've tried to saute morels before, and it just doesn't work. Like, you need them to be crunchy and with some oil in them. That's what makes morel mushrooms delicious. And they are shockingly like chicken strips. There's like a meatiness to the flavor for sure. And it's yum. Yum, yum. I love them sauteed. They're just so soft. Like, the texture. Like, straight up sauteed mushrooms, unless you cook them down for a while and they're like in a sauce or something. But I just like fried up some morels in butter one time and it just wasn't as good. I like to do a nice shallow deep fry when I get morel mushrooms. I just accept that my digestion is going to be horrible bad in the heat. Yeah, see how this works? Russian roulette. Put a bunch of edible mushrooms on a spinning board and nosh on one after spinning the wheel. And then you have to actually wait a little while to see if it gives you an allergic reaction. When I eat mushrooms, I like to think I am eating earth brains, since mushroom networks interconnect all the things. So it is meaty. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm really into mushrooms. I have this mushroom thing behind me. I got this mushroom, which I need to make a couple more things like this so that I have a couple of things ready when I start my raffle on my Patreon. I'll probably start the tier soon, and then I'll send out the toy in the following month. So if anybody wants to join my Patreon on a paid tier, there is a free thing on my Patreon now. But if someone wants to join, I'm going to start a thing for a raffle for $5 a month of stuff that I raffle off. But I'm just making little mushrooms and stuff for funsies because I enjoy it, because it's fun. And they're adorable and cute. I don't even know if I'm going to finish this one actually, because I decided that I didn't like the cap and I need to redo the cap. But look at its tiny little mushroom. Adorable. So cute. Mycelial mats are the world's... yeah, the natural world's internet. I'm excited for this idea. I want to win a mushroom. Mushroom, mushroom. Badger, 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 badger. Mushroom, mushroom. Humans are easily bribed, it's true. It's better than thinking that the mushroom caps are the reproductive parts. That realization ruined cut flowers for me for a long time. What? Mushroom caps are the reproductive. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, so you see this thing back here? There's like, this mushroom is not shaped normal. Like, why does this mushroom have a flat top like this, okay? It's because a lot of mushrooms start out like this, in like the classic mushroom shape, and then they spread out and up like this, because that's where the spores come from, is the gills or the teeth underneath, you know? Fun fact, the engineer on Star Trek Discovery is named Paul Stamets after an IRL mycologist because the Discovery has a, quote, spore drive that uses a subspace mycelial network to traverse the galaxy. Oh wow, that's crazy. That's pretty funny, actually. I'm convinced that most people who say they don't like mushrooms, allergies aside, are just used to the shitty canned kind like on pizza and have not had a well-cooked mushroom. I think that most people who say they don't like mushrooms have like a texture problem with mushrooms, which I get. But I guess that maybe is part of your argument. You're saying that like they just haven't been cooked correctly. I've not seen Discovery, no. I don't really care about any of these new shows that are out right now, if I'm being completely honest. I just don't... I mean, it's like great. I just don't care that much. Volunteered at a state fair and found out that I was allergic to the feathers on ducks. Oh, wow. A canned mushroom is all rubbery, but a well-cooked mushroom is crispy and firm. I guess that's fair. If you don't overcook them. Yeah, mushrooms taste like dirt. That's delicious. I love the taste and the smell of dirt. I have, you know, my newly set up terrarium, and I spray it down almost every day because some of the moss, like, is on the cork bark, and so it needs extra water. I need to spray it more often. And I was, like, spraying in there, and, you know, I was, like, leaning my head over the edge of the terrarium, and it just, like, smells like dirt, and it just smells so good. Like, it almost tastes good. Like, you know when you smell, and the smell, like, happens in your mouth a little bit? Like, it plays on your tongue. Like, it just smells really good. You must love beets. I don't know, I haven't had beets in a really long time. I like radishes. I cannot remember if I've ever had beets, though, TBH. Maybe by accident. I think one time I had beets by accident. Because, I thought that it was cranberry sauce. Like, I thought that it was, like, you know, the can of cranberry sauce, and sometimes your grandma will, like, get the can of cranberry sauce out and just slice it into, like, red discs. So, I ate a beet by accident one time because of that. I just got some carnivorous plants for the first time. Ooh, that's exciting, kitty. Carnivorous plants are really tough to keep alive, I will say. I would also say, like, if you don't already know this, for anybody in chat, don't trigger carnivorous plants on purpose. Like, if you have a Venus flytrap, don't trigger it on purpose just to see it close, because each one of those things, like, each one of those guys, it only lasts for one time. And then they digest and, like, it eats this whole thing, and it uses a lot of energy for the plant to move in the first place. So, like, yeah. So, yeah, if it closes and it's empty, a lot of the time it, like, just dissolves itself. Or, like, it drops off, or at least in my experience. So it's not good for the plant. Used to have a Venus flytrap as a kid, gave it some hamburger meat, and it died. Uh-oh. I did research on water filters. Brita filters do not filter PFAs. Zero water filters are currently the best filters in terms of filtering lead and PFAs, besides just using a water distiller directly. Are PFAs like the forever chemicals that are so dangerous about, like, non-stick cookware, for example. Is that what that is? Yeah, I hear you. It's the brand Zero Water. So Zero water filters, like the Zero brand water filters, are currently the best filters. Maybe I'll have to get some of those. How does one distill their water? You have to buy a distiller, like it's a machine that you buy. I'm building my aquarium/terrarium hybrid tank. We would just call that a vivarium. And watching it go from a stinking box of ditch water to smelling like a delicious fresh forest as the ecosystem develops and becomes healthy. It's quite satisfying. Yes, love, love. Distillers are, I think that you can get one for like $100. So they're fairly pricey. But then you don't ever have to buy distilled water again. We've thought about this because yes, for a terrarium, you are supposed to use distilled water. Otherwise, you're adding all kinds of like salts and stuff to it. Zeros are best, at least according to my research. And also, I bought a water distiller from AliExpress that I plan to test ppm compared to Zero Water and other filtration waters. Well, Violet will be able to report back on whether it's worth getting a distiller from AliExpress. So that's cool. Okay, let me get rid of some of these tabs. I don't need all these tabs. Too many tabs, too many tabs. Too many tabs. I really want to build a vivarium one day. Honestly, just waiting to find a deal on the right tank I want. Lindsay, I highly recommend setting up a search function or like a notification function on your local Facebook marketplace. Because Facebook marketplace, like, or if you live in a place like, I know a lot of local towns have like a local buy-sell trade group or even local giving away shit for free group. So you could like find one online, like a used one. Sometimes they'll need to be cleaned and everything, but still it could be worth it to try to get a good deal. Yeah, true. Careful if you have a well on your land. You gotta test them for contamination. Yeah, we test annually. Good call. I would probably, well, if you have to call someone to do the testing, I would say annually, but I personally, if I was doing the testing, I would just do it twice a year, probably. Like, like midsummer and then later in the year, maybe, or maybe once in spring and once in autumn. That's a good idea. I've just been looking randomly. Yeah. Oh, Petco has been having a sale, apparently. So you can go also check out sales. You can get a ppm measure for like a few bucks online. Nice. Yes. These are things that we might need to know, you know? We might need to stockpile ppm tests for in case like society collapses and the only thing we have is a well. I found a tank for cheap on Nextdoor. Only thing Nextdoor is good for. Yep. Luxander on its prepper arc. I'm about to become a refugee, you guys. Like, I'm not like, yeah, so like, yeah, I'm gonna learn like how to give stitches. I'm gonna learn like how to, I want to learn how to weave baskets, you guys, like, cause basket weaving is an ancient skill that is useful. I already can make clothes. If I have yarn, I can make clothes, so even if I know someone who can spin a shitty yarn, I can make shitty clothes out of it. I have all kinds of skills, and I want to have more skills. I'm prepping. Big time. For me, I'm going to be learning this for storm and emergency prep, because you never know if the electricity or water is going to get cut off or contaminated with climate change. And also because I need to use a water distiller for my CPAP medical device. Oh, cool. I have no yarn, but I have yearn. Can you make anything with that? I can make angst with yearn, for sure. Basket weaving helps with catching fish, too. Great skill to learn. I'm excited. Can I do anything with ennui? I can't help you with your ennui. No. I can't do anything with that. Prepping for power grid failure is a thing here in Texas. like, I've had several times recently where the power's gone out, whether it's been a major storm or like just random little, like, the power's just gonna go out for like 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, I could make ennui from Yearn. I see. And it's like, yeah, my house is pretty dark. Considering how many windows are in here, it's super weird how dark it is if there's no electricity. So, yeah, like... And there's nothing to do. Like, even a lot of my patterns for yarn crochet stuff I'm finding online. Like, this pattern I found online. This one I have a book. And so if I didn't have internet, I could still make more of these from the book. But this one, I don't have that. Where I grew up, the environmental regulations want you to send your well water every month to track and manage the aquifer. Here, it's ice storms and being snowed in with no power prep. Most people have a week or two of supplies just in case. Ooh, rough. It's fires that I'll have to figure out how to deal with, right? Like, if I go move to Washington, it's fires that are, like, the main danger. Here in Kansas, we've got tornadoes and floods. You gotta be prepared for tornadoes and floods. And probably increasingly wildfires are gonna happen more and more, if I had to guess. But, like, yeah. Oh, earthquakes. True, earthquakes. I hadn't thought about that. I know, I'm getting all 4 elements pissed off. All 4 elements. In Quebec, fires is the current thing, although thankfully less near me. Yeah. Our last big one was in 2000. As a fellow Kansan can confirm. Earthquakes are especially important for a to-go bag. Well, I was thinking more, like, when earthquakes came up, I was thinking more in terms of, like, oh, that's a practical thing for how to arrange my house. Like, you know, I gotta make sure that, like, breakable things aren't near the edge of something, or you have the ability to move them quickly if a earthquake thing starts to occur. Research thermal electric generators out of sand batteries. You can build a hydrogen extraction system relatively cheap that can be powered by a small solar/wind system. Use the hydrogen to heat the sand and draw your needed energy from it. Oh, that sounds interesting. The more patterns you crochet, the more stitches and skills you learn, and eventually you can create and write your own patterns. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lindsay, yeah, for sure. I'm going to be doing that actually soon. My partner has mentioned long time ago, like, I mean, Breath of the Wild came out forever ago. I was getting into wood carving, and my partner was like, oh, it would be really cool if you carved me a korok, like a korok. And I didn't end up doing that, but I am going to crochet him a korok. So it'll probably end up being, like, yay tall, like about 4 inches, and hopefully it's cute. That's the plan, though. Yeah, a distiller is like $100 for even a decent one. I feel like I'm gonna wrap up stream not too long from now, so Venusian currently is gonna get the Bluesky code. If anybody wants to donate more than $18.38, more than $18.38, you might be in the running to get the Bluesky code that we have to give away today. But if not, then it's probably gonna go to Venusian after stream is over. I lost fair and square. You did. You lost fair and square. I hope you share it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna, like, formalize the pattern. I guess I will write down what I've done as I'm going. But I don't really have I guess I could post it on Patreon, but nobody follows me for that shit on Patreon, so I don't know. Yeah, Venusian, are you, like, in the, are you in the Discord so that I can message it to you? I don't know if you have, a place for me to give you the link. Okay. So yeah, I'll message you after stream is over. 69th like, hell yeah! Hell yes! Oh yeah, I will show you guys the result. It's a gift from my partner, but I will still show you the result. I know it's late, but if you wanted to cover the hearing from Thursday on a stream this week, I made a whole document breaking it down with clips by timestamp. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over it, like, probably Tuesday, but I was just feeling like my breathing was weird and my heart was weird. What hearing? They had a hearing on Thursday last week about the concept that people receiving gender-affirming care are not having their due process something or other. Like, the idea is that they're trying to use a bunch of bullshit indirect stuff to make transgender care illegal on the federal level. Like, they're trying to... because they know that they can't pass the legislation, so they're going to, like, try to use other means, like attaching it to a fucking military spending bill or whatever. Like, they're gonna start trying to do some dirty stuff to make trans care illegal on the federal level. Thank you, Paint. I appreciate it. Yeah, no worries. I'm doing okay financially, so if any of you are struggling and you feel like you feel the, like, need to donate, like, you don't need to. I'm definitely not struggling right now. This one is notable because it was in federal Congress. Up to now, it's been almost at state level. Yeah, of course. Like, it's like the federal level, at the national level, they're trying to make trans care illegal, and it's like, I don't really know what effect that would have on states that have sanctuary laws. You know, like, is there going to be punitive action against those states? Yeah, for sure. If the federal government says trans care needs to be illegal, and then, like, Oregon decides, like, well, we're gonna still make it legal, and it's, like, required to be covered under certain insurances in Oregon, I think, then the government on the federal level can say, oh, well, you know what, we're just gonna not send any states that do this the money for schooling or something. Like, they will go after those states, you know? So, it's like, this is where things are getting really real and really spicy. Yeah, they attached an anti-trans law to a military bill recently, but it was government funding to military members for transition or for abortion if they have to go to another state to get one while on duty in a state where it's illegal. Yeah. So they are doing all this fucked up shit now. And, yeah. No worries, Slaps Hungry Bears. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go ahead and dip here in a few. This stream went a little bit longer than I thought it would, which means that I'm feeling better than I thought I would. But I am supposed to go pick up my younger sibling in only a couple hours, so I should probably, like, eat on my way out. So yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. Oregon made healthcare a constitutional universal human right, by the way, and basically all transition care is covered. If you're making under $29K a year, you can basically have your transition for free. That's lit. Oregon is the shit right now. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and get my lunch thing going, and then on Tuesday we can expect to have a pretty in-depth conversation about the, you know, national attack on trans healthcare, which I'm not really excited about, TBH, but, you know, it's just another Tuesday. It's just another Tuesday with our rights being gradually stripped away, you know, anyway. Alright, y'all. Be well. Take care of yourselves this week. I hope that your Monday doesn't kick your ass too bad. And I'll see you all on Tuesday. Alright, bye. Bye, 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 bye.